Welcome to the reading of this unit. This reading is pretty interesting. It's called the Peter Pan generation. So do you know Peter Pan? You remember that cartoon with the magical character who lives forever and he doesn't grow old and he lives in a magic land and he can fly. So how do you think that this is related to a generation? What could that mean, a Peter Pan generation? So I want you to read the first part of this article here, okay, and answer these questions, right? So why did Marianne's father want to talk her about? And why does she say he has miraculously avoided the topic so far? Number 3, why say sank and not just drank a glass of wine? And what does I don't know mean? Why is it unusual that Marianne says it? So try to read it and let's solve them together. All right, so the answers are he wanted to talk about Marianne's plans for life. This is number 1. Number 2, it's miraculous that they haven't talked about the topic before because Mariana is 34. And number 3, he sank the glass of wine because it was going to be an important, difficult conversation. So he was probably nervous about asking Mariana about her future. And then the last one, I don't know, is slang for I don't know. So it's sometimes that it's something that teenagers would say. So it's unusual for Mariana to use it as an adult. So now let's read to the rest of the reading passage here, if you can see it. Okay. And we're going to answer these questions here. You can pause the video, read the questions, then read the passage, and then come back for the questions to answer them with me. All right, so number 1, in what ways had Marianne's father settled down at her age and how old was he when she was born? Well, when Mariana's father was 34, he had 2 daughters at school and another one at home. And he had been running a business for 10 years and he owned a house and he had a pension and he was 26 years old when she was born. Number 2, how does Mariana's life now differ from his then? So we can say that she lives in a rented flat with her younger sister. She has few savings and no pension, and getting married and having children is just an idea for her, not a reality. Number 3, what plans does she have for the future? Her plans only go as far as the next weekend. Number 4, in what ways is Marianne already a grown-up? So you can say that she pays taxes, casts her vote, and gives money to charity. Number 5, how is the Peter Pan generation described? They are described as a sizable group of 25 to 40 years old who are avoiding the responsibility of marriage, mortgage, and children for as long as possible. What does adolescent mean? Which 2 words come from it? So they come from the word adult and adolescent. So someone who refuses to settle down and make commitments and who'd rather go to partying in the middle of their age. And number 7, what comparisons does Professor Frudy make about between the 1970s and today? He's saying that at that time, men typically got married at 24 and women at 22. But currently, the average age at which people marry is 32 for men, 30 for women. So the average age for starting a family today is about 28 years old for women, up from 24 in the 1970s. Number 8, in what ways does the economy affect the behavior of young people, what else is to blame? You can say buying or renting a house gets more and more expensive, so adults have to move back with their parents. So you can say 3 million 20 to 3-4-year-old now live with their parents, 1 in 3 men and 1 in 6 women. So the professor is saying that people refuse to grow up because of fear. They are scared of getting old because cultural values are linked with being young. Number 9, what choice cannot be postponed forever, which is women cannot put off the decision of whether to have a child. And the last one, what is making Marianne think that it may be time for her to grow up? She has fewer Peter Pan friends now. Some of them have bought a house and started a family, and that they are happy with their new lifestyle. All right, so let's do the vocabulary work here. Okay, so we're going to complete the sentences from the text. So number 1, she shrugged her shoulders and answered, I don't know. Number 2, speak up, you're muttering. I can't hear a word. Number 3, I have no savings, only debts. Number 4, when are you going to settle down and grow up? Number 5, you can't cling onto your youth forever. Number 6, it's not the fault of the economy. You can't blame that. Number 7, there's so much to do in London. I am spoiled for choice. And I'm 34 and I still go clubbing. I am in denial about my age. Okay, so what do you think of this kind of lifestyle? Do you like it, dislike it? Do you think that this is right for someone to make such a choice? So you can share your opinion and you can tell me if this is your opinion or if it's the opposite. And what's the difference between what you think now and what your parents used to think or your grandparents? You can write your opinion under the video. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading, which is a little bit critical. So now get ready for the last 2 pages we have for our unit. Yay! We're almost over.